Welcome back to the From the Sideline podcast. I'm Francis.
And I'm Peter, and today we have a humongous episode for you guys. I know we say this every time, but we have so much to cover and we missed so much, so buckle your seatbelts. We have a ton to cover. We're going to start off with the Mariners, and then we're going to move on to the NFL kickoff, and then the Seahawks we will close out with.
Make sure to hit the follow button and notification bell. Make sure to listen to this whole episode, but let's get right to it. So let's start off with the Mariners, currently tied for first in the AL West.
On a 6-game winning streak, one after an absolutely horrible losing streak, or just period of losing games on the road. And then we had that 4-2 homestand, and then we got swept by the Rays, and then we lost the first game to the Braves. A bunch of bad stuff happened. But then we won the next two against the Braves. The offense was popping. And then now we're doing great on a 6-game winning streak. Just swept the Cardinals. 1 game won against the Angels. Our magic number is 12. However, the Astros are winning right now. We're tied for first place, and the Rangers are winning as well. So we need to win tonight to keep our tie for first. But overall, it's looking great. Josh Naylor has been performing. Everybody's been performing, especially Julio. Cal's kind of regressed a little bit, but it hasn't mattered because everyone else on the team has stepped up. Jorge Polanco is on an absolute heater. He's swinging a super hot bat right now. He had 2 doubles last night. That walk-off win against the Angels. And then in the game before, he had a double against the Cardinals. Both of these games we couldn't really close out until the 13th and 12th innings, which is a problem. But at least we won. That's all that matters. But I'm trying to think of things we should address, mainly with the Mariners. One thing I would say is the starting pitching has been pretty bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Everyone besides Wu, pretty much, and he's regressed the slightest bit recently. But, I mean, man, it's been really bad, especially on the road. In our Rays series, we just got absolutely shelled.
Yeah.
And, that just can't be happening down the stretch. And we know these are good pitchers. We know how good our rotation was, especially everyone thought it was the number 1 rotation going into the year. But Castillo has been abysmal recently. Gilbert had a really poor outing, and he hasn't been great since that outing. And then Bryce Miller has been really bad since he got back. Kirby had a couple bad outings, but he's been fine, I guess. And then Wu has just been Wu. But yeah, we really, really need to get that dialed in for the playoffs because it matters so much. But one positive thing is the bullpen has been doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the product of having a team this deep. Is like Peter said, we have players that aren't performing or underperforming, and then we have players stepping up in their spots. But, I mean, the Mariners, and we're expected to have a top 3 starting rotation in the MLB, and it's just, I mean, everything else besides our starting rotation has been great. But, I mean, I have faith in them because we know how much talent we have in this rotation. But, like Peter said, the bullpen's been doing great. But if the rotation doesn't step it up, then we're in some serious trouble. But I have faith that they will. Our bats have been pretty hot, but I kind of want them to heat up a little bit more, but I can't ask for too much. Yes, Cal's been regressing, but like the rest of our team the rest of our lineup's doing great. I think Suarez needs to step it up a little bit, but Naylor's been fantastic. Jorge Polanco's been fantastic, obviously, and then Randy's been great. Me and Nico went to a game, and George Kirby was dealing, but he wasn't dealing. He was getting hit a ton. I mean, the rotation just needs to lock in. But also, I don't think we've had an episode since we picked up Naylor and Suarez, so I just want to talk about that briefly, just how huge those were for the Mariners team.
Yeah, we recorded a few TikToks, so make sure to check those out to stay updated on more. Like, if a really big news comes out and we can't record a podcast right away, make sure to check the TikTok. There'll definitely be a TikTok out on that, and then for the long-form discussion content, you should come here and listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, Naylor especially. Suarez hasn't been great since he became a Mariner. He's had a great couple of moments, but overall he's been below what we expected from him. But Josh Naylor, man, he's been so good, especially going from what we had at first base with Luke Raley, who's not even a real first baseman. It's just been such an upgrade, and having a contact hitter like that who can prove himself in clutch situations and just hits the ball is so awesome, especially at T-Mobile Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy I really think we should extend. I think we
sure.
should extend him way more than we should extend Suarez.
Yeah.
Cause,
what about Randy? Do you have him over Randy? I think so.
Randy's not a free agent this year, so I'm not too worried about that. I think we will get one done. I just don't know if it's going to be – I don't think it's going to be now, and I probably won't be in the offseason. I bet he's going to want to test free agency. But, yeah, Naylor is a must re-sign. Like, we've just seen the immediate impact of him. And having a presence, like, his presence is just, it's so, like, visible. Just what he brings to the team. Because I feel like we actually had an assignment for my sports journalism class, and I was writing about Josh Naylor and how he provides, well, the Mariners, especially Julio Rodriguez, just really tend to press in clutch situations and go for the home run ball. Even Cal Raleigh, he's super clutch, but he's always going for the home run. And Josh Naylor just puts the ball in play, gets base hits, and that's really, really, really what we need. And just his overall mindset and attitude in general is just awesome. And he's such a Seattle Mariner, in my opinion.
Even his glove is fantastic. I mean, on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, the Mariners have had a first baseman drought for a while in such a valuable position. I think Josh Naylor is definitely our number one priority for the offseason. But let's talk about the postseason really quick. I have no doubt that we're going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of fact if we're going to win the division or not. So who do you think, like, who would you want to see as our matchups in the postseason, and who do you not want to face?
Well, I wouldn't say it's no doubt that we're going to make the postseason because the Rangers are only 2 back of us for the wild card, which is really concerning, especially with how we've been playing on the road. Excluding those 2 games on Atlanta, we've just been absolutely horrible on the road. So we really, really, really need to get back on track there. But assuming that we make the playoffs, I feel like it doesn't even really. I would hope we play even though they're the best team in the American League in terms of record, I would hope we play the Blue Jays just because we own them. And their roster isn't even that good.
Yeah.
They're just playing really well, and they work really well as a team. But I would way rather play them than the Astros. The Astros are still by far the scariest team in the American League.
I agree.
For me, especially with Yordan Alvarez back now, it's really scary. And they have Hunter Brown, their ace, has just been having a phenomenal season. Yeah, that's a really big problem, and we are probably going to have to get past them in the American League. The teams that don't really scare me, the Red Sox scare me way more than the Yankees. Although we lost a series to them in early July, I think, after the All-Star break, the Yankees are not a good baseball team. Like, together. They have a ton of good players. They have Aaron Judge, but their defense is absolutely horrible. Aaron Boone has been doing a really bad job at managing. I just don't understand. I don't know if this can work in the playoffs. I know they made it to the World Series last year, but their defense was not like this, and they had Juan Soto. So I would not be expecting a repeat at all, and the scariest team is by far the Astros.
Yeah. I mean, it's no surprise, like, the NL is obviously just way stronger than the AL. And to be honest, like, obviously the playoff teams in the AL are strong. But besides the Astros, which I agree with Peter, I think is the scariest team that we're going to have to face maybe, I'm like an equal concern for the rest of the teams. Like, I know the Blue Jays and Tigers have been amazing this season, but I'm not too scared of them compared to the Astros. And like Peter said, the Yankees, I'm not really too scared of them either. But I think it's comparable if you're a soccer fan that, like, the Yankees, like Peter's saying, have so much talent. They're kind of like a Real Madrid, and the Tigers are like PSG, being like the best team this season, or one of them, because I kind of fell off recently. But the Yankees just have so much talent, so much money, and they sign all these players, but they don't really mesh well together. I know baseball's not as much of like a team sport, I guess, but they don't really mesh well together, and they haven't been clicking really, especially like their pitching. And, you know, besides Aaron Judge, their bats aren't very hot. And I guess Bellinger's been pretty good this season. But
Grisham.
And Grisham. But the Tigers have, like, not many, like, name value, noticeable names in their lineup besides, like, I mean, Riley Green is great.
Gleyber Torres is good. They have Skubal.
Obviously, they have Skubal. But besides that, I mean, they just have been working really well together. But the Mariners...
We played really well against them in that final series before the All-Star break. We got 4 runs off Skubal. Julio hit a homer off him. I think he got 2 homers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe 1 was off him, 1 was off the bullpen. But anyways, we hit Skubal well, which obviously you can't just predict doing that again. But that's a really good sign. So they don't scare me as much as the Astros, but they're, I would say, probably the second scariest team, even though they're not. Neither of these teams are the first place team, which is the Blue Jays.
Yeah. I have a lot of faith for the Mariners going into the postseason. I know the boys can rally and make the postseason to begin with, and then also get back on track with the bats and the pitching. The bullpen, if it stays intact, I think we have a really good shot at the World Series this season.
Yeah, I mean, we say that every year, but this year,
No,
we
like
actually
genuinely this
have
year.
the roster to do that. And years before, it's been hope, and we've worked really well together as a team. And this year, it's been a lot less of that, actually. It's just been our pure talent has gotten us to a lot of places that we haven't gotten to before in past years. And this roster, I think, is the most capable postseason roster that we've ever had. Since 2001, obviously.
Comparing it to our last playoff team, that was obviously a great season, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This roster this season is miles ahead of that playoff team, pitching wise and obviously the lineup wise. It's so much better. Like, it's just on a different level. So the Mariners are a serious contender this season. Hopefully, we'll see how the playoffs, or even if we make it, how it's going to turn out for the rest of the season.
Yeah. One last thing that I would say is that if we don't make it, knock on wood, this would be the most disappointing thing in Mariners in the past at least 10 years of being a Mariner fan. We invested so much in this team, and this roster is so good that missing the playoffs, especially after that 9-game winning streak in August, would just be absolutely heart-wrenching. So knock on wood, pray it doesn't happen. And we're playing really good ball right now, which is good. So hopefully we keep that up, and hopefully we maintain our hot streak coming into the playoffs, because peaking too early, we've seen, can be a problem.
Just a quick question before we get into the NFL. How do you feel about Cal Rowley's MVP hopes as of now?
I mean, I just don't. It really, really, really depends how these last couple weeks of the season play out, especially home run wise and record wise, because I know the voters care a lot about that. I'd say if he gets his OPS like back to above 950, I know his framing has been picked up recently, which is good. If he gets his OPS back to above 950 and he hits probably like 5 or 6 more bombs, then I think it's probably 50-50. But right now, I think it's Judge's.
Yeah. Bro, how many times has he been intentionally walked in these past close games?
He's had 3 walks the past 2 games.
I mean, those could be 3 tanks right there. But I think 2 things need to happen for Cal to have a chance at MVP. The Mariners definitely need to win the AL West. If we're a wild card team, I think it's Judge's.
And I think if he gets to 60,
yeah, that's what I was saying. If he gets to 60, and we win the AL West, I think it for sure is going to go to Cal.
And if he breaks the record, which seems pretty far fetched right now, Aaron Judge is 62.
Yeah.
Then I think it's.
What's Mickey Mantle's switch hitter record?
54.
Yeah. Well, he's 1 away from that.
But he hasn't hit a home run since he didn't hit one in the Cardinal series. He didn't hit one in Game 1 last night. Obviously, this isn't. I always find myself I'm obviously a huge Mariners fan, but when I'm watching Cal, I'm only praying for a home run. I'm not. Yeah. Like, if he gets a single, I'm disappointed, or if he gets a double, I'm disappointed, which is kind of a problem. But yeah, there's nothing you can really do about it, because this would be historic if he gets to 60 or breaks the record.
And I saw the stat was like only one MVP has ever been below a 260 batting average. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously he hasn't been the best batting average player in the MLB, but he's a catcher. You got to cut him some slack. Let's move on to the NFL.
Wait, hold on. We just got some live news right here. Trey Skubal just left the game in the 4th inning with left side tightness. Oh, no. The AJ Hinch pulled him, so that could be something down the line. Just wanted to note that. If that becomes a problem later on, then that will definitely change
Tigers
what we
will be
say
in trouble.
About the Tigers. Okay, let's move on to the NFL.
Should we start off with Seahawks?
Let's end with Seahawks. Okay, so week 1 of the NFL started last Thursday, and Sunday was on Sunday. What were your biggest takeaways?
Well, first of all, I mean, we're big fantasy guys. It was kind of underwhelming from that point of view. But outside of fantasy and just real football, I mean, obviously I'm just super excited to have the NFL back. I know we're going to talk about the Seahawks later, but that was so disappointing. Some teams, I mean, Micah Parsons traded to the Packers.
Oh, yeah, we have to talk about that.
I made a TikTok about that. We can talk about that really quick. I'm not a huge Packers guy, but they just played yesterday, Thursday Night Football, and then week 1 they destroyed the Lions. the Packers look like a completely
They
different team.
look on fire.
And, I mean, I'm a big hater of their offense. I mean, they don't have a clear wide receiver one. I mean, Josh Jacobs is, like, pretty good. I'll give him that. But I'm not a big Jordan Love guy. Like, he's just a gunslinger. But he looks different this year. I mean,
He's not putting the ball in harm's way nearly
Yeah.
as much as he did last year. Obviously, it's only a 2-game sample size. But yeah, they look absolutely on fire. And specifically about the Micah Parsons trade, I didn't make a TikTok on this, so I want to just say my opinion. Now you can go over to TikTok
Yeah.
and look at Francis for his. But everyone always says, like, when big trades like this happen, that it's a fleece. But this is this is like actually a fleece.
yeah, this is
You
insane.
can't 2 first-round picks for the best edge rusher we've seen in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, he's an absolute animal, a game changer. If the Seahawks gave it that package, I would be
Yeah.
screaming and crying and jumping. Like, it's absolutely insane that they got that. Jerry Jones needs to give up the GM powers. He's like 90 years old. If I was a Cowboys fan, I would cry. It's just so bad. He's one of the most valuable players in the NFL.
For sure.
Just absolutely dangerous. Draws a double team every single time he's rushing the passer. I mean, he's already made an instant impact on the
Yeah.
Packers. I think he had half a sack last night, but he was just everywhere. You could see number one.
And a sack in the first game.
Yeah, you could just, yeah. So he already has 1.5 sacks, and he's been everywhere on the field.
Yeah. I mean, in my TikTok, I said how I don't think the Seahawks should have made that kind of package for Micah Parsons, which I kind of still agree with. But looking back on it, I was kind of just coping. And, I mean, that's such a steal for a Micah Parsons type of talent, a surefire Hall of Famer on this kind of pace, top 10 player in the NFL, top 3 edge rusher in the NFL. I mean, yeah, he's just made such an instant impact. You can see it's like what I was talking about with Abdul Carter last season for Penn State. It's like every single play that he's in, he's making an impact, whether that's a pressure, just a run-stopping tackle or a sack or a QB hit or anything. He's making an impact, and pass rushing affects the opposing passing game so much because the QB's pressured and they have to get the ball off quicker or, make a bad decision, check it down, less yards, get hit, and then, Jaden Daniels looked flustered yesterday, and Micah Parsons doesn't even play every snap right now because I know he's still dealing with some sort of injury. But imagine him playing every snap, making that kind of impact on the Packers defense, which is already looking elite. It's insane. I mean, I was talking. One of my good friends is a big Packers fan, and I was hating on them before the season started. But I'm not going to go as far as some people to say that they're a contender right now. But I'm not going to lie, they look really, really good. Their offense looks fantastic. And if Jordan Love keeps this up, they genuinely might make a NFC Championship run. But, I mean, Super Bowl I still think is pushing it for me. But their defense does look fantastic. Absolutely stuffed the Lions and the Commanders.
Yeah, but obviously there's a ton of season left to play. But the
Yeah.
best start you could possibly imagine if you're a Packers fan. Some more highlights of Week 1. The Sunday Night Football game.
Oh, that
Wow,
was legendary.
What a game.
That
I'm
was
so happy I stopped doing my homework. Or I didn't stop. I didn't even start. But I'm so happy I was watching that
Yeah.
game. The Bills were down 40-25 with 3 minutes, under
That's
3 minutes
insane.
left. And they came back. Keon Coleman caught a ball on the deflected pass, and then they scored. They needed 2 points for a 2-point conversion. They threw a fade to Coleman. He didn't catch it, and so everyone thought the game was over.
And then
And then Derrick Henry fumbled.
fumbles.
Or Derrick Henry fumbled before, but the sequence, we're not getting the sequence of events right. But Derrick Henry fumbled, then they scored, and then they went 3 and out, and the Bills got the ball back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they won it. Matt Prater field goal.
It was insane.
Absolutely insane game. Josh Allen had a monstrous game. Keon Coleman, the second-year receiver, what a game from him.
Yeah.
I have him on fantasy, which is a good late-round pick by me. Hopefully. It's going to be interesting to see if the Bills come back to having a true ace wide receiver like they did with Stephon Diggs. Because last year they kind of did a committee with Joe Brady. Obviously, he's still there. So there's probably not going to be a ton of change, but Keon Coleman was mocked in the first round a ton, and then he kind of fell a little bit going into the draft after not a great senior season. Yeah, but he looked great in his first game. Looked like he'd been hitting the weight room over the course of the offseason. So if the Bills can have that ace receiver, it's going to be interesting to see how that affected their offense, because obviously it was so good last year with Josh Allen winning MVP. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when you throw an ace wide receiver back into things.
Yeah, I think that genuinely might have been the best regular season game I've ever watched. I mean, I know that iconic Chiefs-Rams game. That was insane. I remember watching that. I don't even remember how old I was, but I think I was like 13. But yeah, that was genuinely up there as one of the best games I've ever seen, regular season. But yeah, just speaking on the Bills or Keon Coleman really quick, I just wanted to say, quick flex, that I was just super high on him coming out of the draft. He was my wide receiver 2 behind Marvin Harrison. No, my wide receiver 3 behind Marvin Harrison Jr. and Rome Odunze, and then he fell to the second round. I absolutely loved him. I think he had the best hands in the draft. I just wanted to put that out there.
Seems like you forgot about someone on the Giants.
Yeah, well, I wasn't that big of a fan of Neighbors, but he's kind of proved me wrong. And then also I had Brian Thomas Jr. under Neighbors, so but whatever. But I was really big on Keon Coleman.
Not to call him out, but I'm going to call him out. He said, quote, I'll give you whatever amount of money if Malik Neighbors is good. And
well, you never know.
It's pretty darn good.
It could have been a fluke season anyway. But, I mean, no. Malik Neighbors is obviously insane right now, and you can't deny he's insanely talented. Same with Brian Thomas Jr. But anyway, the Bills, I think it just has to be the Bills or Ravens winning the Super Bowl this season. I think the Eagles, I don't think the Eagles are starting a dynasty of any sort with Jalen Hurts. I think the Chiefs obviously have a chance, but that's just a little boring. And, I mean, I wouldn't mind Patrick Mahomes adding on to his legacy, but I need to see Josh Allen or Lamar winning a Super Bowl. This is kind of like the rivalry now with Josh Allen and Lamar. Like, obviously, Mahomes is on, like, a different level right now based on his career. And then Joe Burrow is kind of just, like, falling out of the picture. But it's really Lamar-Josh Allen rivalry right now. I mean, I'm sure Peter agrees, but Lamar got snubbed of the MVP last year.
100%.
And it was kind of just like what's it called? Voter fatigue thing with Lamar. Yeah. And Josh, I mean, I'm happy Josh Allen. He had an amazing season.
Yeah,
but
Lamar didn't really have his best season in his MVP season the year before. So probably felt like it's justified, but that is not the way the award is supposed to work.
That was one of the best regular season quarterbacks seasons of all time. But I mean, I guess the best argument to make with that is that Josh Allen didn't have as many weapons. But yeah, I just think one of the Bills or Ravens has to win the Super Bowl this year. They're so talented equally. I mean, their defense kind of let up a ton of points, both, but their offenses are just so fun to watch. I mean, I don't know how you stop the Lamar-Derrick Henry duo, and then Josh Allen is just something else. But also shout out to Derrick Henry. I had him in fantasy last week, traded him, but he's insane. He's 31 years old, still doing this, still being a top 3 running back in the NFL. It's kind of ridiculous. I think he's asserted himself. I was talking to my friend the other day, and we can talk about this maybe, but I think Derrick Henry has solidified himself as the top 5 running back of all time, which I know is like kind of out there, but I think the career he's built up, he's done over about 10 years of absolute dominance, and he's just aged like fine wine.
Yeah, he's shown no signs of stopping.
Yeah, not at all. And I mean, barring any injury, hopefully he doesn't, knock on wood, but he like genuinely looks like he's on pace to have like 4 more seasons like this, which is insane for running back. But yeah, let's talk about.
There's one sort of unexpected game that I want to focus on. If we said this before week 1, I would just probably laugh. But the Dolphins game. Yeah. I'm going to start by talking about the bad with the Dolphins, which is pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Tua, Mike McDaniel need to go. Mike McDaniel is like. Hopefully he never sees this, which I really doubt he will. But and I've never played for even high school football, but he's a soft coach, and his team doesn't get fired up at all, and his plays are repetitive, and he calls not a great game. And Tua has a noodle arm and isn't very good. I never thought he was very good. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are just getting left out there. They're such good receivers because their offense and their coach and their quarterback just aren't good. And they only play good against bad teams in their South Florida, nice weather. And then when it actually comes to winning football games that matter, they don't do it at all. They put up 8 points against the Colts. I know that Colts have a good defense, but it's just pathetic that that's the way you come out of the gates when you're supposed to be a team that has a good offense. And we have an offensive, like, quote-unquote genius, which is what people were calling Mike McDaniel a few years ago. It's just absurd. I feel like he's going to get fired midseason. It's like if he loses next week,
needs to be next
if
week.
they lose big next week, I think he's for sure gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was absolutely horrible. But yeah, I'll let you talk about the Dolphins and then we'll talk about the Colts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened to them, man. Honestly, the first season Tyreek came in, they just looked incredible. And I'm not a Tua hater like Peter is. I actually like Tua a lot. I mean, obviously he's gotten worse and worse. And also, I mean,
I'm just gonna read his stat line: 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Yeah, I mean, also you got to feel for the guy with how many concussions he's had and how many hits he's taken. But maybe it's taking a little bit of a toll on him. But he seems like he feels fine, but he's not playing fine. Like Peter said, like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are such amazing talents. They could easily both be top 15 receivers if they had a good offense to play in. And I'm just gonna say it, Devon Achane is not a very good running back to have on your offense. Like obviously he's good for fantasy, but I don't even think he's a top 15 running back in the NFL.
I think he's a really good change of pace back, just because I don't think he should be fed the ball as much as he is.
Yeah, I don't think he's a workhorse type running back.
His speed is so valuable, especially when you have that much other speed on the team. I don't agree with Frentz about that. I think he's actually really talented. But if they could maybe work Ollie Gordon in more as a power back, I think that could work out for them. But I doubt that's going to happen.
Well, maybe that was the key. I mean, obviously, too, in the passing game hasn't been great. But when they had Mostert in there, in that dual running backfield, I mean, that's when their offense was going. And so maybe they need a second running back to pair with Achane and also they were like the two fastest running backs in the NFL. So, I mean, maybe that was their identity and they kind of just lost it. But, yeah, I mean, everything just looks bad. Their offensive line is terrible. Their defense is not very good. And Tua has not looked great. So, I mean, the Dolphins are kind of just a train wreck right now. But they have so much talent, and if they can put the pieces together, they can easily be a playoff team again. But I don't know what happened to them.
This is more of one more like kind of opinion thing before we talk about the Colts. Great game. Tua, I forget what the question was in an interview, and I've been seeing a lot of these over the course of the offseason and even last year. It was like a normal question by a reporter, and Tua just got so like pressed and angry at him for no reason. And I can really tell that he's not like in the right place mentally. Well, obviously not like as a human, hopefully, but like in terms of football, you can't be like getting pressed at reporters for asking normal questions, and that's generally not a thing that quarterbacks who are fine or who are doing well do.
Yeah.
But okay, moving on to the Colts. Wow, 33 points. Danny Dimes in his first game. I didn't really think they should start him. Because I still don't think they gave Anthony Richardson a fair chance because they drafted him as a project quarterback. Everyone knew he was going to be a project quarterback, and they pretty much started him right out of the bat. I think it was like week 4 or something.
Yeah.
Which is not the way you're supposed to do it. I feel like you had to let him sit for at least a year. Mm-hmm. Sort of give him the Jordan Love treatment. But, yeah, I don't think they did that right. But Danny Dimes, he was slinging it. 22 for 29, 272 yards, 1 tutty. And then they had it going on the ground with Jonathan Taylor. And then Tyler Warren in his first game. 7 receptions, 76 yards. Seems like they're targeting him a lot. Seems like he's going to be a really big piece to their offense, and that fits so well. I know Fress was really high on Colson Loveland. I was always a Tyler Warren number 1 tight end guy, and I think him to the Colts was such a perfect fit. And he just kind of seems like a Colt.
Oh, yeah. Also because he's like white and it's Indiana, but
I mean,
and number 44.
It's also a perfect scheme fit because he's
a
great blocker, and they already have a good offensive line. He's gritty. It's just that,
and they're like
Midwest.
a running offense team, so a blocker is a big plus. Yeah, I mean, I was really high on Colson Loveland, but I'm also really high on Tyler Warren. I think I might have. I mean, I'm more of just like a. I don't know. Maybe I kind of got a pass catching bias from Colson Loveland because he's so talented as a pass catcher, but obviously Tyler Warren is more gritty, versatile, and a better blocker. But I think I had Tyler Warren above him slightly, but I think I had them back to back. I think Colson Loveland, if he's utilized right, can be a top I'm gonna say top 5 tight end in the NFL if he reaches his full potential for sure. But I mean, he didn't really get utilized at all in the Bears game. But Tyler Warren, yeah, he was amazing. Daniel Jones, I mean, I don't know why people act like he's some sort of scrub. He was a first-round pick, top 10 pick, I believe, and he you see his athleticism. You see him run the ball. He made the playoffs with the Giants, which is a pretty hard feat to accomplish, and I think it was the right decision to start him. But like Peter said, I agree. I don't think they gave Anthony Richardson not even just a fair chance, but like they just put him in such a terrible situation. Like he was obviously a project quarterback, but I mean, I don't really know if I had any hope for him.
Yeah, but they even
turning into a good quarterback in the first place.
But they still did it the wrong way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they definitely needed to sit him for a while.
There was a 95% chance of this happening if they didn't sit him, and they didn't sit him. So
yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
All right, before we get into the Seahawks, I just want to speed run through the week and say our thoughts on some games here. Okay, Cowboys-Eagles. What do you think about that? Quick fire.
Yeah, Eagles kind of. It looked close on the scoreboard, but Eagles were kind of in control the whole way, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, Dak played well, but
Dak looked good, and CD
kind of sold
with dropping those passes.
And they need to target Pickens more.
Yeah, and the Eagles' offense, they were not targeting their receivers a whole lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, AJ Brown one target, Devontae Smith 3 targets. Yeah. And then, okay, Chiefs-Chargers. Chargers win 27-21. Justin Herbert MVP season loading, question mark?
Yeah, Hampton was the running back one. He didn't have a ton of production, but it was interesting to see. I'm in fantasy, so it was actually good to see him be the RB1 by far out of the gate. Najee barely got any work next game.
No, and also shout out Keenan Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Still playing really well for how old he is, getting like 10 targets. Okay, Buccaneers-Falcons. Shout out Egbuka, Seattle area kid. And shout out Michael Penix too, UW guy.
Yeah,
he played well.
Penix was slinging it. He was doing super well at the end of last year. I think this will be a really good season for him.
Yeah.
Baker played well.
Okay, next game, Bengals-Browns, 17-16.
This game sucked.
Stink show. I mean,
Bengals won, but they never really had the ball.
Yeah. Oh my God. Every time they turned on the game in red zone, it was just Joe Flacco under center, and it was pissing me off.
Yeah. Dylan Sampson was the RB1 for them with no Judkins, so that was kind of cool to see. I was actually pretty high on him out of the draft.
All right, Colts-Dolphins are talked about. Jags-Panthers. Jags win 26-10. The Panthers looked terrible.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young looked terrible.
He looked awful.
I'm a big Bryce Young guy.
That was hard.
I'm not a big Bryce Young guy. I'm a solid Bryce Young guy, but he's just not proving himself. Trevor Lawrence. I think this could be a Jags breakout season. I think their offense has a lot of potential. BTJ hopefully doesn't go into sophomore slump.
He had one catch, but he had 7 targets and they had a rushing touchdown, so he sort of salvaged it.
And I'm a big Trav Hunter guy.
Yeah, Travis Hunter was getting all the reps on offense and a couple works on defense. But Liam Cohen just said he's going to get more reps on defense this week, so we'll see how that goes.
Raiders-Patriots. The Patriots stink. They look terrible. I'm a huge Drake May guy, but he did not look great.
I saw someone on TikTok or like some sports show in New England say that he looked robotic, and I completely agree with that. He's thinking way too much, and he's trying to not do stuff as opposed to trying to do stuff.
But shout out Gino, he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Cardinals Saints, that was another stink show. But also, okay, I keep saying this, but I mean, I'm not a big guy, but I'm a fan of Spencer Rattler. I like hope he does well, but like he's obviously not that great. But he played not even that bad.
Yeah, I think I've always thought Kyler gets too much hate. I think he played a pretty good game. Trey McBride, till tight end. Marvin Harrison just really has not lived up to expectations, and no one really talks a lot about that.
Steelers, Jets. Aaron Rodgers looks great, actually, I think.
Yeah, he played a really nice game.
Yeah, and Justin Fields also looked great. I'm a big Justin Fields guy.
Breece Hall comeback. Yeah, he had a good game.
I like Breece Hall too.
Yeah.
Giants Commanders, that was just Russell Wilson is terrible now. Like he needs to just pack it up.
Yeah, they should go
He's done.
Winston or not Dart.
No, yet. Dart. They need to go Dart soon. I mean,
not right away.
Not right away, but
just
I think Russell. My prediction is Russell Wilson's going to start for like 4 more weeks, and then Jackson Dart's going to come in like week 5, week 6.
If they play Winston, Malik Neighbors, you should like trade for Malik Neighbors. He's going to get fed the ball. When Jerry Jeudy had Jameis Winston, he got like 18 targets and then 14 targets and then 16 targets or something crazy like that. He had a 40-point fantasy game. It was insane. Just note that. I feel like they are going to move on from Wilson soon.
Yeah. And then we got Titans Broncos. Cam Ward actually looked pretty good. I'm not a big Cam Ward guy. I don't think he's going to be that great.
I'm a decent Cam Ward guy. I think he's going to be pretty good.
But, the Broncos. And also, not a big Bo Nix guy. I hope he sucks.
Yeah, and I think he's going to suck. He did not play that good of a game.
I'm not going to lie. I did not watch that game. Shout out RJ Harvey, though. Packers-Lions already touched on. And then Rams-Texans. That was also a stink show. I mean, the Texans' offense looked terrible. CJ Stroud looks like he's regressing. Their O-line is terrible.
Puka had a great game, per usual. Picked up where he left off. And then Devontae Adams didn't have a great Rams debut, but, I mean, they got it done. It was a horrible game. Stroud didn't play well.
Oh, and then Vikings-Bears. I think that was a great game. JJ McCarthy.
Bears came back at the end, but they should have 100% won that game.
They were up by,
21-6.
Yeah, I mean... I'm also, again, not a big J.J. McCarthy guy. I don't think he's that good, but he proved me wrong. He made me eat my words.
He was slinging it.
He looked really good. That final drive at the end of the game, he looked really good. Caleb Williams, I mean, whatever. Rome Odunze, we know. We love.
He had a nice game.
Okay. Well, let's wrap it up.
Move on to
Seahawks talk.
In my opinion, there's a decent amount to talk about, but I low-key just don't really want to.
Yeah.
I was so angry. Clint Kubiak called not a great first game, I would say.
Terrible.
Actually, pretty horrible first game. Kenneth Walker was the RB2. Charbonnet was getting all the reps, which Kenneth Walker did not look that good. He's kind of regressed, he's regressed since he was a rookie. That was extremely disappointing. And then let me think. Tariq Woolen, absolute stink show. Don't need to talk about him. Francis made a TikTok cussing him out.
I did not. I guess I used some swear words.
Yeah, some foul language. But, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't agree. It was a horrible game. I don't want to talk about it because it makes me mad. Sam Darnold played a decent first game. He's just a good game manager quarterback. And it's pretty similar to Geno, except something about Geno, he has a little more upside for me, but I'm not mad at Darnold. He played fine. JSN, toe tapping in the end zone. He had a really good game. And then, who else? Cooper Kupp, very underwhelming debut, was pretty much a non-factor. Devin Witherspoon played well. Josh Jobe played a wonderful game.
What up, Josh?
That was nice to see. The defense was good overall.
Great.
Besides number 27.
Oh.
Yeah, just a really disappointing game. The offense sucked, besides a couple good performances.
I mean, I don't want to repeat everything I said in my TikTok, but every single concern I had about this offense haunted me in this game, and even more than I expected. First of all, I just want to say, completely disagree with Peter. I think Sam Darnold has much more upside than Geno Smith. I think Sam Darnold's a great quarterback. He can sling it. I mean, every interview I see with the wide receivers he play with, I know they have to say it, but they genuinely mean it. I can tell that Sam Darnold can sling. He has so much arm talent. Top 5 pick out of USC. He's him. But our game plan offensively going into that game was just not enough to showcase his talent. I mean, we weren't really passing it that much. I'm all for, I've talked about this so much, I'm all for running the ball. And, we were doing it good at the start. We were doing it well. And we just kind of got really passive. And then there's some stupid plays that came out and some stupid decisions by Kubiak. But quickly just run through the offense really quick. Jason, great game. He's so consistent. I love him. But the rest of our wide receiver core, Cooper Kupp, I know he's still great. I have faith in him. He's fine. He's a vet. But I was really concerned about our outside receivers going into the season, and it was bad. We don't have any real guy to target besides JSN and then Cooper Kupp occasionally. I think we need to utilize our tight ends more in the passing game, because I thought that's what Kubiak was all about, and I think we have 2 really great tight ends in Barner and Arroyo, but Horton is not a great wide receiver 3. Jake Bobo is not a really reliable option, so I'm kind of concerned about that, especially after cutting MVS. There must have been something with that, but that kind of concerned me. And their offensive line looked pretty bad. Anthony Bradford, I don't know why we're starting him. He stinks. And then Abraham Lucas didn't look amazing. Obviously, it was Nick Bosa, but he had that play at the end that sealed the game for us. But I just think we need to implement more down-the-field passing for Sam Darnold. He did it so well in Minnesota last year. I think we really need to implement more play action. I think we kind of strayed away from that. And then long deeper passes down the field and just running the ball. I don't mind a split backfield with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, but the defense was amazing. I was super proud of how our defense played. But yeah, I mean, we held them to 17 points with over 30 minutes of possession, which is really good. In the NFL, anything under 20 points, I'm happy with. And we held them to 17 points. They doubled in even more our time possession in the game, so I'm proud of that. But yeah, just Rick Woolen just absolutely sold our game. 2 detrimental plays. I don't think I've seen 2 worse plays by a cornerback. Genuinely worse than anything I've seen from Trey Flowers or Trey Brown. Yeah, I mean, he just stunk. And it was super disappointing to watch that touchdown drive from Brock Purdy. And I hate Brock Purdy. I think he's a bottom 5 starting quarterback in the league. I think he stinks. But yeah, we need to bounce back. We're playing not a very strong team in Pittsburgh, but I might eat my own words there because they played really well against the Jets last week. But, DK Metcalf, hopefully not revenge game. But I got word, I didn't get word, but I saw that Devin Witherspoon is not going to play on Sunday. So it's just going to be Woolen and Job out there. And that concerns me a lot, especially with DK and where I know Spoon's a nickelback, but it just really concerns me with our defense. He's kind of the glue guy in our defense. But, yeah, we just need to lock in and bounce back. This is a game we need to win. I think if we lose this game, I don't want to say it, but if we lose this game, our season's, already over. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode from the sideline. Pretty deep one here. Peter, you got any finishing touches?
I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We got a really long one here. Make sure to listen to future episodes. Make sure you follow and notification bell. Thank you.